Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you may be listening. Welcome to this week's segment of The Perspective with Stephen and Patrick. You know me, I'm Patrick. With no hat on, I decided to reveal my haircut, but as you know, a certain celebrity stole my signature haircut from me, and he's been popular lately, one Jonathan Majors. I just don't like the comparisons, but anyway, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Steven, the one without the hair. Let's say I've been mistaken for Darius Rucker. But like I said, no Hootie and the Blowfish over here.
Yeah, I don't see the resemblance.
I'm getting it. For some reason, I get it. But I don't see it personally. But people say like I said, I will take his paycheck in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Take his paycheck in a heartbeat. But we got a great show lined up for you today, baby. We, we
Yeah.
let y'all know some backstage news behind the scenes. We've had some technical difficulties leading up to this point.
Lots, lots of technical difficulties.
So we hope that this time around is be somewhat more smoother as we dive into these topics and what we got on deck today, Pat.
Yeah, first we are going to get into Stephen A. Smith. I call it the shock of the century story. No one's seen this coming. No one. After that, we're going to attempt to get into President Kennedy. Heavy on that attempt part, per the executive order that President Trump signed about, releasing the file. And lastly, but not least, we got the Get It Off Your Chest segment where I think Steven is going to touch on something that's near and dear to our hearts. And he's going to...
Maybe it's them. Maybe they don't hear me go off on them. Maybe they
Oh,
in a way of, we might be thinking in the wrong direction.
yeah, I can see that. I can see that. But we're going to get into it. First, Stephen A. Smith is actually gaining popularity to be the 2028 presidential candidate for the Democratic Party. Let me tell you, I did not see this coming at all. Yesterday, I woke up, cut on a sermon. I usually listen to about a 20-minute sermon. After that, say a prayer. Sometimes I'll lay back down until I need to get out of the bed and get ready, for work, or I'll open up my phone if I'm not tired and just scroll through the news, kind of like opening up the newspaper. And I just see Stephen A. Smith, and then I see Democratic, as I'm scrolling by, and I said, what? And I had to do a double take. So I go back down and I see where it says that in the poll, he is gaining popularity votes, approval ratings to be the next candidate for the Democratic Party, presidential candidate. Yeah. And I'm looking down and they're saying that he definitely has potential to go past everyone. I'm like, this is some kind of joke. So I triple check. By the way, at this point, this news is so big that I have lost track of time. And I'm forwarding when I have these news articles. I forwarded to Stephen at 4 something in the morning. And that's how shocked I was. And I lost track of time. But what do you think, Stephen?
I mean, it's an interesting take. It's a hot take at the moment. I mean, his numbers at the moment. He's polling at, I think you mentioned 2%, and some of the names that are coming up on this last polling list, according to McLaurin and Associates. I probably pronounced that wrong. McLaurin and Associates. I don't know how many people they actually polled, but some of the names that's on this list is AOC, Alexander Cortez. You got former vice presidential nominee Tim Walz, Pete Buttigieg, Gavin Newsom, our favorite governor at the moment. Also Wes Moore, Phil Murphy. I mean, these are some big name Democrats that are on this polling. Incredibly enough, you got Mr. Stephen A. Smith polling at a 2%, which is more than a Beto O'Rourke, more than a J.B. Pricer, just as much as a Wes Moore, just as much as a Cory Booker. I mean, when there's smoke, there's fire. But still a long way to catching the presumptive projected nominee, Miss Kamala Harris, who's currently polling 33%. But I mean,
Yeah.
his name's out there. Like I said, there's a lot of powerful people that he's not too far behind on this list, on this particular polling list by this particular polling company. But he's been pretty adamant. Like I said, I mentioned that in November he was on The View and Sonny hosting, asking him, would you do that? Do you think you're qualified to run for president? His response was, heck no, using the PG version of that word. He said, I have said this on many occasions. The answer will be heck no, because I like the life. I like my life. I'm living a pretty good life. But I must confess, I wish I could debate some of these guys. I would love to be on the debate stage going up against these guys with the presidency on the line. So you look at that quote, he will let it go on the debate stage, but not just randomly go up on the debate stage. Go up on the debate stage with the presidency on the line. So there might be some little hints that, he was willing, to actually pursue this.
And the funny thing is, for weeks, we've been crediting him saying, well, he's just making himself more marketable for his contract with ESPN. ESPN is run by Disney, if I'm correct. So ultimately it's Disney. And because we've seen him on Fox News, News Nation, Piers Morgan, Bill O'Reilly, Bill Maher, and someone else, I can't remember their name, but we've seen him make guest appearances on their shows. Not once or twice, but consistently each week. So it's definitely interesting. And for me, I asked myself, with you mentioning, being on that debate stage, was this his master plan the entire time to at least get on that debate stage?
It very well could be. It very well could be a angle that he's playing. Because even he be on First Take a lot, he always kind of jokes, I'm Stephen A. Smith and I approve this message. So there could be little signals there and now again. But like I said, I think it kind of boils back down. You mentioned his negotiations. He's up for a contract. He's probably making himself as marketable as he possibly can in order to be paid, being the highest paid ESPN's personality, which I'm going to see if I can find. I'm thinking off the top of my head, the current highest paid personality probably be Mr. Pat McAfee, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But I think he wants something along those lines where, like I say, he got creative control of the show. He got everything else he probably could want working with ESPN. But if you could say, hey, man, I could go on this show and I could become a political analyst or a political commentator. I don't need you. I could go talk sports and talk politics somewhere else. Yeah. So you will have to pay me, and not just a sports guy. You're going to have to pay me as everything I'm currently bringing to the table.
That's right.
So I think he frames the quote, you're only worth as much as somebody's willing to pay you. So he's making sure his value is way up.
Yeah, and I give him credit. Hey, I actually, admire the fact that a lot of his topics is funny. We record first. We put out our content first. And it seems like he steals a lot of our content. So I believe we're on the right path.
I'm telling y'all go back and just watch some whole thing. I sent you a clip of, him going in on DEI. It's almost verbatim of what we talked about, and I was explaining our thoughts and our feelings on, DEI. And we get in that again because Trump is, we'll say that for another day. There's some things that's still floating around in the news. But a lot of, I don't know, maybe it's, like I said, I told him, man, maybe there's producers out there listening to us or they're searching the web and coming up and feeding him ideas, or maybe we just think that much alike. Maybe not. But I said, like I see, I think we might be on a good path if we got,
Yeah.
have anywhere close to his level of success. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And hey, we'll see. Maybe he'll pull us onto his show one day for a guest appearance.
yeah, I would highly enjoy that. What would be interesting? Would be interesting to see. But let's see, if he's serious about running, it'd be interesting to see, his campaigning, how much money he can, he can raise to, because it's all about that dollar. As far as running for president, you got to have your be able to get your name out there. You got to be able to pay for ads. You got to be able to go across the country, spread your message, and you got to have powerful people in powerful places. I mean, will he have enough success to run? Maybe. That list of names. Honestly, if he polls and he's beating some of these high-profile names, then absolutely he should run, because he already showing that he can distance himself from known politicians, and he classifies himself as independent, but he has a lot of liberal and conservative views. So I think that will play into, well, independence never, but he will have to side with a particular party to get the nomination, because an independent has never won the nomination. So he will end up just taking votes. Yeah, end up taking votes for somebody. And as we saw, that, let's say, cost Hillary in her Trump's first bid for the White House. Well, let's say it's been interesting to watch. Keep an eye on, let's say, especially watch his podcast and see how many celebrities, political celebrities he bring on, that kind of thing. You might be looking at potential running mates. So, never know.
Yeah. We have an idea of what his slogan will be. Whatever his media company's name is, I think that's what his slogan would be. I can't remember the name of it.
I could totally see that. But if he do, let's say, hey, he needs somebody to fill in and might get in trouble with the missus. But these fans take that seat beside Miss Motley. Hey, same name is all I'm saying. We both got the same name. There'll be no mess up. Shannon won't have to call me Skip. I'd gladly take that seat if he decides to leave that seat open.
Yeah, let's go ahead and start prepping applications and submit them to ESPN.
I'll have no media experience, nothing at all, but hey, just slide me right in. Got the same name. Just slide me right in beside Miss Carol.
Yeah.